The fall of Marvel. The MCU became a cultural phenomenon with interconnected films starting with Iron Man and building towards Avengers, Endgame. The success was built on consistent storytelling, character development, and solid filmmaking. This golden era of the MCU dominated both the box office and the hearts of fans worldwide. After the success of Endgame, there was a noticeable shift. Marvel began entering Phase 4, and that's where the cracks started to show. You can frame the decline as a natural consequence of what happens after the peak and the challenges of following up a cultural landmark. There are few reasons why this is happening, and today I'll be explaining them to you, but before, do subscribe to my channel. So let's start. Number 1. Oversaturation of content. Quality versus quantity. This is a major critique. The MCU's Phase 4 and beyond has been criticized for releasing too many films and shows in too short a period. From 2021 to 2022, Marvel dropped over 10 projects, including Black Widow, Shang-Chi, Eternals, Spider-Man, No Way Home, Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, and numerous Disney Plus series like WandaVision and Loki. The earlier phases had a more measured release schedule, with a focus on quality and development of characters over time. With the deluge of content, fans began to feel overwhelmed, leading to fatigue. Talking about the Disney Plus shows, the shows, while intriguing, often felt underdeveloped. For instance, WandaVision was praised for its creativity, but ultimately was criticized for its rushed finale. Loki was a fan favorite, but its tie-ins to the multiverse introduced a complex storyline that confused some viewers. The Disney Plus shows, though entertaining, have lacked the same emotional stakes and payoff as the earlier MCU films. Number 2. Lack of cohesive storytelling. The culmination of Avengers Endgame brought the Infinity Saga to a close, giving the MCU a sense of closure. But since then, Phase 4 has lacked a cohesive narrative. The multiverse saga was supposed to be the next big thing, but it feels disjointed. Loki introduced the concept of variants and timelines, but this was somewhat undercut by Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness and other projects that didn't fully capitalize on the concept. There is no central villain. The absence of a clearly defined overarching antagonist, like Thanos, has left fans struggling to understand where the MCU is headed. Movies like Iron Man, Captain America, and Thor set up the Avengers team in a more structured, strategic way. With the new strategy, it's harder to see how everything fits together. Number 3. Diminished star power and character investment. A major reason for the MCU's appeal was its iconic characters. Marvel has tried to replace these characters with newcomers like Shang-Chi, Ms. Marvel, and Kate Bishop, but they don't yet have the same established fan loyalty or star power. New characters, while promising, haven't yet been given the same level of depth or time to grow. Captain Marvel, for example, is considered an important figure in the MCU, but her solo film didn't resonate the way other solo hero films did. Another reason is Thor's decline. The character of Thor also saw a shift post-Thor Ragnarok. While that film was a breath of fresh air with its humor and new direction, Thor, Love and Thunder fell flat, with critics and fans pointing out its over-reliance on slapstick humor and a lack of real emotional stakes. The MCU has struggled to find a replacement for the previous mainstay heroes, and whether the new wave of characters can ever truly replace their predecessors. Number 4. Over-reliance on CGI and visuals. One major criticism of modern Marvel films is their heavy reliance on CGI. While earlier films like Guardians of the Galaxy or even Captain America, The Winter Soldier blended practical effects and CGI effectively, more recent films have increasingly leaned on computer-generated imagery at the expense of grounded action. Example: in Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania, the quantum realm was entirely computer-generated, leading some to feel that the film lacked the tactile feel of earlier Marvel movies. Similarly, characters like the Hulk or She-Hulk are often almost entirely CGI, detracting from their impact as characters. There are behind-the-scenes issues at Marvel, with numerous reports from VFX artists claiming they are overworked and underpaid, leading to rushed and unfinished effects in several MCU films. Number 5. Diversity and representation. Marvel has made a concerted effort to introduce more diverse characters in recent years, from Ms. Marvel to Shang-Chi to Black Panther Wakanda Forever. While this is a positive move, it has also drawn criticism from some corners of the fanbase who feel it's too forced or politically motivated. Audiences feel alienated by these changes, especially when they don't feel like they're getting the same kind of character development or stories that resonated in earlier MCU phases. Example: some fans felt that Captain Marvel was too heavily focused on her identity as a woman, and that it detracted from her character development. While diversity is essential for representation, finding the balance of good storytelling alongside inclusivity is critical. Number 6. Rising competition and superhero fatigue. Superhero fatigue is a real issue. Many audiences are beginning to tire of the endless parade of superhero films, not just from Marvel, but also from DC, Sony, and even streaming services like Amazon and Netflix with shows like The Boys and The Umbrella Academy. So what is the future of the MCU? Marvel is betting big on upcoming films like Fantastic Four and Thunderbolts. While Phase 4 may have been a stumble, Phase 5 and beyond hold promise if Marvel can find a balance between new content and its foundational storytelling principles. Tell me in the comments, how do you feel about Marvel? Thanks for watching.